After decades of waiting, families poisoned by toxic water at Camp Lejeune got a milestone day in court this afternoon. But relief may not come unless the process for settlements is overhauled. WRAL Investigates' Cullen Browder was inside today's crowded hearing and joins us live from the federal courthouse with the judge's warning. Cullen?
Well, Gerald, Judge James Dever started today's hearing that was packed with attorneys from all over the country by noting the Roman Empire lasted more than 1,000 years, and with the potential for up to 1 million of these Camp Lejeune claims filed against the government, he warned resolution could take that long unless this process is changed. Not far from Camp Lejeune in Jacksonville, a cemetery exclusively for babies stands as a harsh reminder of the toxic water on base from the 1950s through the 80s. Congress passed the PACT Act last summer, confirming the connection to everything from cancer to stillbirths for hundreds of thousands who live there. The law opened the door for families to sue the government. But in court, U.S. District Court Judge James Dever expressed disappointment that no settlements have yet been reached, saying, quote, "The Navy needs to step up."
I was very pleased to hear the judge in there today announce his displeasure with the government.
Retired Marine Jerry Ensminger lost his 9-year-old daughter to leukemia and became the face of the fight for justice.
I still think there's too much emphasis being placed on the lawyers and not the victims.
Cancer survivor Mike Partain was a baby on base.
The thing I want to see, and I think for all of us want to see, is, for the attorneys to get together, get things done, and get things moving. Let's talk about the plaintiffs, talk about the victims who were poisoned by the water.
Is this an impossible task?
No, it is not an impossible task as long as folks follow what Judge Dever said today, which is we're going to come up with a process.
The judge urged attorneys and the government to work out a streamlined process, create a database of victims, laying out the extent of injury and causation to the water, how long people lived at Lejeune, and ultimately, the hope is to combine similar cases and set up a settlement structure. As for the timetable, Judge Dever added, quote, "We're trying to avoid a situation where this litigation goes as long as the Roman Empire." And part of the need for the administrative process is because every case that is not settled has to go through North Carolina's Eastern District Court system, and there are only 4 judges. The judge today gave attorneys a month to come up with a leadership team, and Gerald, that leadership team is going to try and come up with a streamlined process.
Impossible but a daunting task. Cullen Browder live at the federal courthouse in Raleigh. Thank you, Cullen.